Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. We're going to go ahead and do a gameplay review of Guild of Guardians. This is a new mobile RPG style, auto battler style game that has been getting very popular recently. So I wanted to go ahead and do a video of it, show you the game in case you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, tell you about it, and then at the end of it, give you my opinion on whether it's a game that I think I'll personally continue to play, or if it's something that I may pass on for now. The one thing I did want to note before we really dive into a lot of this is that I will, if you are at all interested in the game, again, it is free to play. I do have a referral code down below. I'd much appreciate if you do use that. And really, the way you get to it is in the settings, and you can go ahead and submit the referral code. It helps out the channel with anything that we can do in the future. So I do appreciate that if you do use that. It's not necessarily, but it's appreciated. But before we jump into the video, please take a quick look at this disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please make sure you do your own research before you jump into any project. Don't take my word for it. Just make sure it's right for your situation. All right, now that we have that out of the way, let's go ahead and give it a little bit of background around the game, and then we'll dive into it. Guild of Guardians, you can go ahead and check it out at www.guildofguardians.com. It is an Immutable X Blockchain game. That is an RPG auto battler. It's got a lot of other items as far as team building and things like that that add to the strategy of it. But at a core, it's really an auto battler. And you try and progress through the dungeons as you're going through there. It is a mobile app that is good for both iOS and Android devices, so that means it is definitely mobile friendly. You can also use BlueStacks on a PC, which is what we're going to use as far as this demonstration today, to go ahead and play it on your PC if you don't have your mobile available. It was just recently launched. It is free to play, so that's the good part about it. You can go ahead and jump on and start playing at any time. You can get NFTs as far as the heroes go, and I'll show you that in a little more detail if you choose to go ahead and really try and ramp up and speed up the process. There is PvP. We won't be showing PvP as part of this video because I'm not quite there yet. There is a limit or a level cap on that, or I should say a level opening on that. So I just haven't gotten to that point. And full transparency, I've been playing this for a few days. Like with most of my reviews, I want to do a video early enough that I still have my first impressions on it, but also get a few days into it so I can really have a feel for at least the gameplay itself, and I can give you an honest opinion about how I feel about the game. So let's go ahead and jump over to the website first, and then we'll go over to the game and show you actually playing through the game. This is the website again, guildofguardians.com. I'll have a link in the description down below. Really just shows that this is where you can go ahead and download it, but you can also get it from the Apple Store or the Google Play Store if that's where you choose to go through. This just gives you details on the overall game itself. As I mentioned, it is fantasy RPG, team builder, and there's a lot of strategy that goes along with the combat, the combination between the team building and the combat itself. There's Guardians, and there down the road will be some additional items. As far as activities that you can go through and play in the game. I wanted to give you a quick look. As far as the Guardians go, these are your main heroes that you're going to be using. There is a large selection of them. So there's a ton of different combinations that you can go through as far as building out your characters or your team. And then I did mention before that you can go ahead and grab some of these NFTs if you want to go ahead that route, so you can pick and choose what you want from the beginning, or down the road you're having trouble actually getting one of the characters that you really want. You can grab it off NFT version of it. If you go to ecosystem at the top here, you're going to see marketplace, and that's going to take you over here to Token Trove, where you can go ahead and see the different heroes. From my understanding is they won't have the levels when you go ahead and grab them, so make sure you're aware of that. But they do have other characteristics that are in there. So let's go ahead, enough talking about the website and the NFTs and the background. Let's actually jump into the game so I can show you how it works. All right, so we are here in the game itself. As I mentioned, I am using BlueStacks, so I can do it on my PC. It's just a whole lot easier to go ahead and record with that. But if it works very well on mobile devices. So I did try and crop it out. There are some ads on the side here that you can't see. But this is the main view when you go into the game. As I mentioned, I've been playing for a few days now. My main commander, they call it, is level 24. And these are some of the Guardians that I have in my inventory. If you go down actually, let's go across the top. It shows my experience as far as leveling up. Every time you level up, it gives you your level cap for your Guardians. It increases that. It may increase the number of Guardians that you can have in your party, plus a number of other things that it increases as you continue to level up your commander itself. This is the energy. This is for crafting energy. And then you have questing or mission energy. And then you have this one's for the endless section. You get 2 of those every single day. Your coins and your rubies. These are more common, used for upgrading things, and these are used at the store to buy different items. You can go through all this as messages, alerts, and gifts that they give you regularly, so you can go ahead and check those out. They do give you quite a few things every single day to help your progression. If you go down the left side here, you're going to see Quest, Inventory, and Vault. I won't dive too far into those because they're kind of, again, self-explanatory. I did want to show the bottom things here, and then we'll go ahead and jump into a mission and show you the dungeon and how the whole gameplay process works. Starting here with the Guardians, this is where you can go ahead and sort through your Guardians themselves, and you can go ahead and this first tab is their levels and their overall stats. Then if you have multiple characters, you can go ahead and combine them together to increase the star level, which overall increases their stats also. You have gear that you can go ahead and grab for each of your characters. The gold is legendary, and they have a bunch of different rarities with a bunch of different stats. The key with this is obviously get as high a rarity as possible, and you can level them up each individually. But the other thing that you want to keep an eye on, you see this little icon here, you want that to match the type of character it is, because it does give a bonus. As you can see, there's a 12% bonus if it is the Terra Guardians. So you could want to try and match those as you go through. It's not necessarily early game, but the more you can do it, the more it'll help you in the long run. And then you have skills. Each character, each Guardian has a set of different skills that can level up as they level up. And then we'll go over here to the next one. This is the crafting itself. You get different items. This is where this energy comes into play. You go ahead, you have 3 different cases. So for example, I want to go ahead and just for the examples here, every time you click on it, you get 30 XP, but it also spends some of your energy. I'm just going to do this. And if you get to certain milestones, they'll go ahead and give you rewards. So we'll go ahead, and now that we've got the crafting items, you also get them in chests, and you can also get them other places too. This is just one way to get it from an energy perspective. You can go over to the forge, and you have 2 different types of forging. You have normal forging mode, and then you have advanced forging mode. The normal one does low tier ones, usually commons, rares, those type of things, uncommons. And then if you go up to the advanced mode, it gives you epics and legendaries. So you have a much better chance of getting legendaries out of this, but they do cost more. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and craft 2, just so I can show you the process. I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and craft an axe. And then we'll see how that whole process works. It has a nice little animation here. It does some RNG to see what you get. And I ended up getting an epic on this. So we'll go ahead and craft one more and hope we can get a legendary out of this, because I do want to use the legendary. So let's hope for the legendary. This time we got another epic. But the nice thing with the epics is it's not a complete loss. Obviously the epics are still good. Legendary is what you want, but you can go ahead over to fuse and fuse a couple of them together, right? 3 of them together to upgrade to the next level. I don't have enough to go ahead and fuse, but this kind of gives you an example. Actually, we do have enough to fuse. You kind of want to use the same one. So if I wanted an axe, I needed 3 epic axes to upgrade to legendary. This is going to roll the dice and see whether I get a helmet or an axe. So let's go ahead and roll the dice on that so I get a legendary. I actually got boots. I can use boots, sure. So what we're going to do with those boots is we're going to go back over to the Guardians, and we're going to go ahead, and I actually just pulled this legendary this morning. So we'll go ahead and I'm in the process of leveling him up and gearing him up. So now you can either go ahead and individually change the gear, or you can auto update the gear for what's optimal. And I actually used the wrong one for that. So we'll actually use him for a different character. So you can see the tanks and stuff like that. They're going to use the different types of gear. So we'll actually use it here. I'll throw it in there, and you see it automatically updated that. And then I can go in here and I can level it up to make it a much more powerful equipment. So there we go. We'll go ahead and level that up. And now it is an 8-star, which gives him quite a big boost as far as his stats go. All right, the last thing I wanted to show you before we jump into the missions, not the shop. We don't want to show you the shop. I don't know why I clicked on that. I want to show you summons. This is how you get additional characters as you're going through the process. You earn these little shards, and then you can turn them in to get different summons. You can do 1 at a time or 10 at a time. I only have 2 right now, so I'm going to go ahead and do 1 summon just to kind of show you the process. Most likely I'm going to need a common or a rare Guardian. It looks like I got a common here, which is fine. I usually like to do the 10 at a time because that gives you a better chance at getting higher tier ones. That's how I got the legendary one earlier today. All right, now that we have that all the way, you got the background, you know how to go ahead and level up and get your team ready. Let's go ahead and jump into an adventure, the auto battler style. So we'll go ahead here since we're still in the first groups of areas, and just for simple, I'm going to go ahead and show you this one. It goes ahead and shows you the boss. It shows you the ruins. It shows you the different rewards throughout the process, how much it's going to cost. And the one thing I do want to note is once you get through all the challenge 1s, there is challenge 2s and 3s that give you better rewards. I did complete this one already, so I could go ahead and auto-complete it. Actually, we'll go ahead and show you auto-completing it since it's already been completed once, and it'll give you rewards. And then we'll go ahead and walk through the actual play itself. So let's go ahead and click on Start. It allows you to select your characters. My commander level allows me to go ahead and have 7 slots where I can put characters, but they only battle 5 at a time. So understand that even though I put 7 in here, only 5 will battle at a time. So we go ahead and click and jump into the level, and it happens to be every single, if you look across the top here, every single one is going to give you a different type of plot. This just happens to be a camp, which is not a battle. It gives you a reward. So I'm going to go ahead. It gives you a chance to go ahead and restore health and energy. You can research for a rune, or you can inspire. We're going to go ahead and do a rune. And a rune is basically bonuses throughout this competition or throughout this mission. As you can see, I gain 10 magic damage for every enemy I kill in battle. So that's a nice little bonus. It's a legendary one. And then I'm going to go ahead and actually go into a battle right now. So this is the first battle. We'll go ahead and click on this one. And it's going to go ahead and bring me into the first area where I'm going to battle other enemies. And these just happen to be elite enemies. And it looks like I'm actually going to get a rune or a curse against me. The nice thing is you get to pick which curse that you want. I'm just going to go ahead and select this one. And these curses last with you the entire mission or the entire dungeon. Same with the runes. If I take a look at my characters, they are not in the order that I want them to be in. So I'm going to go ahead to formation, and I want my tanky characters to be in the front, which happens to be this guy, and my range to be in the back. So they attack these guys first for the most part. And then we go ahead and fight. I do have it on auto, so we'll go ahead and turn that off. And what you're going to go ahead and see is you're going to see these kind of pop up here when I can use my ultimates, like right there. If I go ahead and click on that, it allows me to go ahead and use the alternate. Or you can go ahead and just do the autoplay, and it'll automatically, every time one of those ultimates come up, it goes ahead and it triggers them no matter what. Since I've already been through this, most of the runes are going to be legendary. Your first time through the dungeons, they are not going to be legendary, so please be aware of that. So we'll go ahead and we'll pick this first one. And then we'll go ahead and move on to the next battle. You can click on each of these to kind of get an idea of what you're battling against. I'm just going to go against this one. And then we're going to go on to the next battle. And this time I'm actually going to do 2x, and I'm going to do the auto battler so you see how that all works. And now that we're in a different area, we have another curse. So we got to select another one. If you're first time through the dungeon, you don't have curses every time. You may get a curse before a boss. But this is, I've been through this multiple times. I've completed it. So it's going to give me a curse every time I walk through it. So our formation is right. We're going to go ahead and fight. We're going to do the auto battler, and we're going to do 2 times to make it faster. And you see it's automatically going to go ahead and do the ultimates as they pop up. This is where the auto battler comes into place. So there we go. We'll go ahead through that. And we'll move on to the next one, which should be the boss of this. So I go ahead and I'll have another rune I can pick, and we have a room I can select, whether it's a merchant or the blacksmith, and then I'll get to the boss. I jumped ahead a little bit. So we are going to go to the merchant because this is a chance to go ahead and get some items within the dungeon themselves. There are 3 currencies in the game. You have the dungeon specific coin. This is earned within the dungeon and it disappears once the dungeon is complete. This is the coin I showed you before and the rubies I showed you before. Normally what I do is I grab all of the experience scrolls that I can get, and if there's anything else that I want to go ahead and grab in here, I do. Down here are runes that you can go ahead and add to your characters, and they use the dungeon specific token that again will disappear. I technically don't need these. This is a lower level dungeon for me, but we'll go ahead and leave that. And then we're going to go ahead and face the boss now. The boss is obviously usually a little bit tougher, but for the sake of the video, I did pick an easy one. Don't want to lose on a video. That would be disappointing. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here. You see the warning, boss. Get another curse that I'm going to go ahead and go against. Again, you can select whatever you want. We'll go ahead and do that one. And we'll auto battle through this one so you can see it finish pretty quickly. And at the end, we're going to go ahead and get a reward. Like I said, this is my team is way too strong for this one, so I probably should have picked a different one, but at least you're getting an example of what it looks like to go ahead and use the ultimates in the battle and fighting each of them. If I would happen to lose a character during that process, I do have 2 others that I could slide in there. But you see I finished a quest. My companion, perfect timing. Commander is level 25, so I upgraded my commander, which actually gives me an increase in my Guardian cap, as you see. My party size, I actually moved up to 8. You still can only fight 5 at a time, but that gives me an extra person to put in there. And then my crafting grid actually increases. So that is that. These are the rewards that I got from running that mission. And I'm going to go ahead and get a chest that I can go ahead and open up, which is going to give me a bunch of different items. You have fragments, that if you get 60 fragments, that you go ahead and combine them together for a character. And then we got a chest here. So that's the gameplay. There's different modes as you're going through. The first time you go through, the dungeon's going to be much, much longer to get through it, sometimes between 10 and 15 rooms. And then if you go through the endless, it continues to go a number of rooms, then a boss, a number of rooms, then a boss, until you basically die, which gives you some bonuses, and it's a weekly cap, and it has leaderboards, and you can get rewards from it, which is nice. And I did mention that during the background that there are arenas, and the rush, the arena's PvP. I don't have access to it quite yet. Once I unlock or I complete the one area, I'll go ahead and get access to the arena. All right, so what are my thoughts on the game? I like it. It reminds me of some other games for mobile, but I like the fact that it does connect in the Web 3.0 space. You can get NFTs. You can turn these Guardians into NFTs, sell them, buy ones, adjust the team to however you want it to be, and continue through and get rewards as you go through the process. And it's fun. It's a fun game, whether you're going ahead and playing for 5 minutes or for an hour, depending on where you're waiting somewhere with your mobile device. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your thoughts of it? I will have a referral code down below, so if you happen to want to support the channel, go ahead and use the referral code. I very much appreciate that, and it really helps out the channel itself. So I hope you all have a great day. Let me know down in the comments below. Is this a game that you think you want to check out? And I hope you have a great day. Bye.